Hey guys, my name is Merrely and I am a adult student nurse from the University of Hertfordshire, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about ways to budget when you start university. Um, from my experience, I think when I started uni, I found it hard to budget a bit because when you start university, there's no one really there to kind of tell you about the money situation. And plus, when you receive student finance and you see like a lot of income, sometimes you get a bit too excited and feel like there's so much money coming in. And you feel like you want to spend so many things, but then you forget that the money that you get, you have to stretch it out for about 3 or 4 months. So I have come up with ways and tips and advice that can help you guys save money. And one of the ways is to prioritize what you spend. And by that, I mean prioritizing as in buying what you need and not what you want. So, and also when you're paying for things that are important, put them first. So, for example, as a university students living on campus, your priority would be paying rent and pay for groceries. And once all the important stuff are out of the way, you can then you can treat yourself to maybe like a nice outfit or dinner or things like that. So that's one way that helped me budget when I was in university. Another way is when you're shopping and doing groceries, shop non-branded items. You could buy branded items, but what I've realized is when you go to like Asda or Aldi, you realize the non-branded items are way, way cheaper. And if you want to save money, you could always buy non-branded items. So that's another way that could help you save money and budget. My third point that I'm going to go into is using apps that might help you save money wisely. I remember when I was in first year, I came across a blog, a young girl, she wrote a blog and she basically gave like advice and tips and apps on ways you can save money. And she put down a few apps and they're called Tandem, Moneybox, Yolt, and Plum. I personally use Plum and I found that one very useful because what it does essentially is you make an account and it basically helps you see how much, like where your money goes, and it helps you take money aside for whenever you like any like rainy day or you just need a few extra cash. You can always take money that you saved from the side. So for me, that's actually helped me budget because sometimes I forget I've saved money. Then if I go back and check and I see that I've saved money, especially if it's something important, I would use that. Yeah, so that's really helped me and people I know to budget. Another point is buying secondhand books. Um, when you start university, most of your lecturers will recommend you to buy textbooks. Some people do, some people don't. But if you do, I recommend secondhand textbooks from like Amazon or anywhere like that because textbooks itself are very expensive and you save a lot of money when you buy secondhand books. So that's what advice I'll give you guys in terms of textbooks, buying and stuff like that. And also another tip I would give is remember that you are a student and you have an ID card. I would say use that very well because whenever you go out, you can get discounts from just showing your ID card or using apps like Uni Days and Student Beans, I believe. So whenever I go out, sometimes I'll go out and ask, do you guys do student get discounts? And it'll be like 10%, 50% off. So it's always good to ask, and that way you save a lot of money, especially if you go out and things like that. Um, also, one thing I found out last year is a thing called the HC1 form, I believe. It's basically for students on low income. They can complete a form where you basically receive a free prescription, free glasses, free contact lenses. So basically, in terms of healthcare, it's basically free because I believe by the time you're 18, you start paying for them. And they can be quite pricey. So if you want to save money and if you fit in the criteria, you can always apply for a form and that could help. Um, then lastly, the ways to budget is apply for student bank accounts. I think some banks they'll automatically put you through, or sometimes you have to apply. But I'll recommend it because that does help. Because some banks they will offer you free overdrafts. Now this is not where you use it and you go spend a lot, but it does help sometimes when you do need to kind of when money is running low and you need a bit of help. So that's quite useful, I would say. And then I have a few tips on ways you could save as well. One tip is make a spreadsheet. I personally haven't used a spreadsheet, but I've been told that it's very useful because you can go on Excel, you can type in, you can put in the numbers on things you spend and it calculates it for you. So if you're not really looking at maths or a bit lazy, a spreadsheet could be very useful. You could create a savings account and put money aside in case of emergency. That's what I use now. I just put money aside, and whenever there's an emergency, I take that out. Not all of it, but bit by bit, and that's helped me save as well. Another thing is if you're in uni, especially on campus, make dinner. Don't spend money on going out take out every single day, because you waste a lot of money on takeout when the money you spend on that week of takeout could have gone into groceries and fresher fruits and fresher food. So I would say better. It's always good to learn how to cook meals when you're uni, so it's always good to try. So I'd recommend that as well. Set an allowance every month as well. That's another tip I'll give you. You can find jobs in universities and help out with them and earn extra cash if you want to. You can attend free events from the student union if you don't really want to spend money going out. And another tip I would give is when you print out things from the library, you want to save a few coins. Printing double-sided and black and white would help you save, because when you print on the same page and the color, it's a bit pricey. So that's one way you can save money, because most papers you probably need will just be like notes or leaflets or things like that. So putting it in black and white and double-sided helps. And lastly, I would say is apply for a railway card if you are a student that travels to university and back to where you live. Railway cards, I think they're £30 to buy one for a year or £70 for 3 years, and you basically get 30% off of like train tickets and things like that. So that's another way you can save money if you're traveling to uni and back. And yeah, that concludes my presentation.